Hello and welcome back to episode number 63 of Escape the J Curve, and I am Rohan. I am hoping that everybody who is listening in across the globe is doing well and your family is safe. And I am super excited today because I'm trying out a new microphone for this podcast episode. I hope the audio quality is going to be much crisper, much louder, really nice. So I'm going to continue the series that I started a couple of days back. In the first episode of the series, I talked about how to find purpose in a nihilistic world where during the COVID-19 pandemic, if you do not know what your purpose should be and what you should be doing, if you lack clarity and direction in life. And secondly, in the second episode of the same series, I told you how to get your message across to your audience. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about how you can become a leader in a niche that you have picked, that you are good at, that your superpower lies in. So let's analyze this a little bit deeper. Okay, so I believe becoming a leader in your niche consists of two very important steps. And number one is, of course, picking. You have to pick the correct niche, and I'll tell you how you should go about picking your niche so that you become. You can establish yourself as a leader in that niche. And secondly, the second step is, of course, to find your voice. Okay, let's unpack this one by one. How do you pick the correct niche so that you can become a leader in that particular niche? To unpack this idea, let's talk about the blue ocean versus the red ocean strategy. So, what's a blue ocean? A blue ocean is an ocean where the supply of a product or a service is more than its demand, and the red ocean is the exact opposite, where the supply is more than demand. So if there are more hunters, more sharks in the market than there are fish, the ocean is going to look like it's going to be red with blood, because all the sharks are going for the fish. And what happens is, if the market is very crowded, if there is 50 solutions for one problem, what happens is it drives down the product profits and margins and product costs. So if everybody is trying to serve the same customer, the customer has the buying option. He can pick the person who is offering the product or the service for the lowest price. But it's the exact opposite in the blue ocean. A blue ocean may be a very, very small market. It might be, 100,000 people or something like that. But there are not many people who are trying to sell a product or a service to those people in that niche. So, in order to establish yourself as a leader, it's very important to establish yourself or find yourself a blue ocean, and then you can charge whatever you want. You can sell your product at a price that you decide, because there's very little competition and all the buyers in that niche are looking at you as the leader. So it's easier said than done. How do you find a blue ocean? And let's say you are a musician and you want to build an audience around your talent. You want to build a group of people that love your music, and they really are, excited about your next product or your ideas, and they really are excited to buy from you. But how do you get there? So we start off with a big niche, which is music. Then we need to look one level below music, and you have to find out different sub markets and niche down to a very small market where there are not many competitors. So if you look at the music industry as a whole, maybe you find that the sub-market or the genre, country music, it's that market is underserved. There are not many people who are selling something in the country music space. So that could be your starting point. Then you could dive deeper into the market, and you can look at level 2. For example, country music might have multiple different instruments: piano, guitar, flute, and many other instruments. But you find there aren't many leaders in the country music who play the flute. Interesting, isn't it? Then you go even one step beyond that. You look at the demographics. So you might find that there are a lot of competitors who are teaching people how to play the flute in the genre of country music for 18 to 35-year-olds. But you just discover there's a group of people who are between the ages of 35 and 40 who have very well established careers, and they want to pick up a musical instrument, and the musical instrument is flute. They're trying a new hobby or a new passion at the age of 35 or 36 or 40. They are established in their careers, and now they want to pick up a new hobby which excites them, and they start playing the flute. And then you find that these people want to learn how to play the flute, and they want to play country music covers on their flute, but there's not enough coaching or online material available to serve this group of people. Voila, that is your profitable niche. You don't want to compete with people who are teaching hard rock guitar online, because I can tell you there are billions and trillions of people who are doing that already. But if you figure out there is a need for people who can teach people between the ages of 35 to 40 to play country music covers on their flute, you have a golden market opportunity. There would not be a lot of people who are your competitors, and you can establish yourself as a leader in this very small niche, but you have the first mover advantage. You can reach out to these people, establish yourself as a leader in this market, and start promoting your online products. You can plan what your online product is going to be based on what the market wants. Okay, now we have talked about how to find your niche. Let's talk about how to find your voice. And so if you go back to the advice that I published on the last episode, which was publish on a regular basis, and if you take that advice seriously, and if you've chosen a platform, say Facebook Live or YouTube or blogging or whatever it is, and you have started to publish your messages using these platforms, you would find that there is demand for certain kind of product in certain kind of message or certain kind of things in the specific niche that you have been able to find in the previous step. So for example, you might find that a lot of people are looking for the chords for country music, and they want to play the chords of a famous country music song on the flute, but they're not able to find online coaching for that. and you can provide them with the covers, with the chords, and teach them how to play the flute for a particular country music song. And if you start publishing on a regular basis, this message will be clear to you. Some of the content that you published would be red hot. The other content that you publish would be not as well appreciated by the market. So from the content that you publish and it's in demand and it's red hot, you can build on those content. You can you can go deeper on those topics. So it gives you an idea. That helps you find your voice. That tells you what you should be publishing for your niche market. Nextly, if you want to establish yourself as a leader in the market and find your voice, be honest and share your shortcomings. If let's consider one genre of filmmaking which is very popular nowadays, which is superhero movies. And every superhero movie that we know, the hero, the protagonist of the movie, has a serious shortcoming. Superman is almost immortal. He's like a god. Nothing can damage him apart from kryptonite, right? And now imagine that if Superman had no weakness, would his story be as exciting and important and engaging for you? The answer is no. So people like to listen to stories which with ups and downs and drama, and if the central character of the story is overpowered and has no weakness, then that doesn't have any polarity, that doesn't excite the audience as much. So when you start publishing on the platforms you're choosing, make sure you're honest with your shortcomings. Do not lie to them. Tell them about all your failures, all your mistakes. That helps you, ground yourself as a character which is flawed and like any other human being in the minds of your niche audience. Next, talk to them about their fears. I mean, if you have been on a journey and you want to take other people through the same journey, talk to them about the fears that you have had when you started on the journey. Chances are that people who are following you would have the same fears. They don't want to start on the journey, but they can be inspired by how you overcame your fears in your journey, how you overcame your fears. How about dreams? Again, you must have had some dreams when you got started in your journey to become a musician in this example. What was your dream? What did you want to do? Why are you so passionate about music? Start talking about that, and there is a huge possibility that the people who are listening in to you have the same dreams, and if you have been able to achieve your dreams, you can tell the people who are listening to you how they can do the same. And the last and most important thing is giving value. If the association between you and your followers or your niche or your market is not of value to the people, they would not want to associate with you. So for example, if what you are offering them is not of value to them, they would vote they would vote, right? So for example, if you publish a piece of content as a musician and it doesn't get a lot of listens or views or YouTube likes or subscribes or whatever, then you know that the thing that you're offering is not of any value to your audience. So you change it up. You find the next piece of content and the next piece of content and the next piece of content until you hit the piece of content that goes viral, which means that is the value that your audience is seeking from you, and then you can go deep. So go wide And then once you hit your hook, once you hit your virality, once you find your message, then go deep. So that is my step 3 on how to establish yourself as an expert in a niche. And I will be back tomorrow with the next piece of podcast content where I talk about what do you do once you have found your niche and you established your voice as an expert in that niche. Thank you so much for listening in. I will see you tomorrow. Hey guys, Rohan Nag here, and let me ask you a few questions. Are you sick and tired of giving up on your biggest goals? Do you always come back to the same place after having made some progress towards your goals? Do you often sabotage yourself when you are trying to level up in life? Do you feel like you have a lot of potential but you are not doing enough with it? Have you stagnated in life in terms of income, health, career growth for years? Are you suffering from a lack of meaning in your life since the COVID-19 pandemic hit? Are you worried about job security in the current economic climate? Or maybe you just want to increase your value in the job market and you want to make sure that you are not made redundant. Perhaps you want to create multiple income sources, but you have no idea where to start. Do you have outrageous goals, but you are held back by fear and anxiety? Do you lack the energy and motivation to execute on your plans? It could be the case that you wake up every day to bad COVID-19 news all around and you just want to focus your attention on something positive. It's possible that you're super bored right now and you just want to do something productive. Perhaps you want to learn a new skill, lose some weight, increase your productivity, and focus and follow up on your New Year's resolution. Listen, if your answer is yes to one of more of these questions, then I have something critical to tell you right now. But first, let me tell you a quick story. I was a person who had everything that society tells you is important, like college degree, like job in a reputable firm, vacation 2 to 3 times a year. I would, travel the world internationally. I traveled to 6 countries in 2019 and everything money could buy, but I experienced a deep lack of fulfillment, meaning, and purpose in my life. I realized the gift of human life is immeasurably precious. To live a life without meaning or purpose, to have not done anything to make the world a better place, is to have wasted this valuable gift. Deep down inside, I know I had more to offer to the world. I knew I was not living my best life. I wasn't dreaming big enough. I wasn't taking enough action. I was not creating a legacy for myself. I was just living a life without goals, ambitions, hopes, and dreams, and a purpose. All I wanted to do at that point was something bigger than me, something that will be my legacy, something that will help other people too. I know I have a lot to give to my family, my community, and the world at large, but I was struggling to find a vehicle to create value for me and others. To be honest, I felt like a monumental failure in my life. I had lived half of my allocated time in this world without having done something meaningful, something which will outlive me. On top of that, I had absolutely garbage habits like smoking, not sleeping properly, eating crap foods, not taking care of my mind, body, soul, These habits were just dragging me to the depths of hell and were killing my self esteem that I had left. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm talking about October 2019. I was chilling with my friends and they had just left, and I was alone in my bed and I could not sleep. There was one thought that kept me in awake. Have I done everything that I have been sent here on this earth to do? And my mind was telling me no. That was my breaking point, really. I could not take it anymore. So I got off my bed and decided to give my life a scorecard. I looked at my career, my income, relationships, health, service, legacy, and other important pillars in life. And the results I had produced in this area were really underwhelming. That felt like a gut punch. Half of my life is gone already, and I had not done anything commensurate to the wonderful gift called human life. I knew I needed to set big and audacious goals for myself, transform myself into the best version physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and kill off all the rubbish habits that were dragging me down. In order to be successful in the endeavor of transforming myself, I knew I had to draw inspiration from the times I have been successful in my life. And then, as if by chance, something magical happened. When I looked at my previous successes, I found a pattern. I discovered that there were a total of 6 magical things that I did every time I succeeded in life. Like when I managed to lose 70 pounds of body fat in a period of 6 months. It was like clockwork. I took these exact 6 steps when I did something well in my life. And every time I did not achieve my goals, I failed to follow one or more of these rules. Every time, all the time. That's when I realized success is a process which has 6 rules or pillars. And if I abide by these rules, I will succeed. And if I do not, I will fall flat on my face. My plan was to incorporate these 6 rules into my life and launch an e-commerce business. I knew from my past business experiences there's nothing like starting a business if you want to build character. A business demands you have massive work ethic, excellent communication skills, high level of discipline, and an ability to deal with failures, rejection, stress, and so much more. Yet, there is nothing more rewarding when it succeeds. I did everything necessary to become ready to tackle the rigors of a business. I gave up smoking, got my diet and sleep right, started exercising, became more disciplined with my execution. I picked a niche for my e-commerce business, researched profitable products in that niche, got the logo, bought the domain, got the website up, and was just about prepared to launch my business. When I was ready to start sending traffic to my website, something happened which I was not prepared for. When I was about to take my business idea to the world, COVID-19 hit and everything changed forever. On March 11, 2019, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic, and hundreds of countries closed their borders and trade and commerce took a huge hit. I know the business that I was working on for months would have to be closed down before it made the first sale. This pulled the rug from under my feet. For the next couple of months, I felt like I was stabbed through my heart. I kept my fingers crossed that countries would be able to flatten the curve and open up their borders, but deep down inside, I know it will take months, if not years, before things would go back to normal. Then it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I realized brick and mortar businesses that deal with physical products, apart from the most basic necessities, are not going to do well in the short term. The only way to make money in the current economic situation is to build digital assets. No matter what the situation is with brick and mortar stores, you can sell. If you can sell things that can be shipped through the internet, like ebooks or podcasts or YouTube videos or blogs or softwares or freelancing and consulting services, you can still build a successful business. Immediately after that, I started creating digital assets. In the next 2 months, I wrote a book and I launched this podcast where I talk about internet marketing, starting online businesses, success strategies, and so much more. To my surprise, I managed to interview more than 50 very successful people in every field, from entrepreneurs to YouTubers, on my podcast. These interviews are massively valuable because the guests share their journeys, success stories, tips, tools, strategies, and so much more. This podcast has gone on to receive more than 1,500 listens and downloads within a month of its launch. To tell you the truth, I have come a long way since October 2019. Not only did I manage to destroy lifelong unhealthy habits like smoking, bad nutrition, improper sleep cycles, impulsive spending, but I'm a published author and a podcast host now. But the biggest change that I think has come in the way I feel about myself. Life does not feel meaningless anymore, and I do not feel like an underachiever. I wake up each day with great hope and enthusiasm. I have massive amounts of energy and focus. I have direction and motivation, and it feels like I'm walking the right path in life and making the best use of my talents and gifts. Although the pandemic slowed me down for a couple of months, I have a feeling 2020 is going to be the best year yet. And that's why I'm so excited to share with you my book, The 76 Lockdown Guide, How to Overcome Obstacles, Reignite Your Passion, and Find Meaning During the COVID-19 Calamity. In the book, I talk in depth about the 6-step golden formula that I've used to accomplish my most challenging goals. You can use the same 6-step formula to tackle the most difficult challenges, find direction, meaning, and purpose in life, and completely transform yourself into a new you during the COVID-19 lockdown. I am leaving a link to get the book from Amazon Kindle right now in the show notes. Do check it out.